Hello, welcome. Today I'd like to do a reading on some of the information that we've gotten from John. And I'd like to first thank all of our lovely, beautiful friends who are helping me with all of this information, going to the probate court, figuring out Colin's shoe size. I just really actually need confirmation that he wears a 9.5. And if there are any social media pictures of him in sneakers, we're just looking to, I just need to confirm it. I don't know if I really need to confirm it. I would just like to. So, and our friends that are helping me with the timeline, you know who you are, and I love you for it. For Miss Karen, the wolves will not be at your door forever. And right now, I'd like to go into this timeline. And the reason I'd like to go into the timeline is because I think we've got it, like, nailed. And now I am just making sure that all the energy feels right. It's heavy, it's sad. And I've been saying that since the first time I ever read on them, especially John. Just wasn't ready to go. So it's sad. And it's sad what Karen's going through. And the energy's super sad. It's not dark. Well, I mean, it could be. We go down any of the roads, but just in general. So, and if anyone has an idea of how we could get the very first autopsy that was done and any information from John's ambulance ride to the hospital. I know no one went with him, which is fine. Like, by that time, he had left his body, but it's disappointing. So anyway, if anyone knows or where I can find the original autopsy and the paramedics, that's not the first rodeo at the Albert home, I'll tell you that. There's information from that ride that will also be helpful for us. With all that being said, I'd like to again thank all of our lovely friends, beautiful friends. I found an article from like 2 days after it happened, and I've saved it. And it said that he had died of a cardiac arrest and hypothermia with blunt force trauma to his head. I don't know what it says now, and I don't care. This is what I think the timeline is. 12/20. Karen's story has never... Oh, I did see the comment about Allie not being there, and I was probably in the wrong, so disregard that. I saw it in the comments. I haven't had a chance to write back, but you're probably right. It was more of the 11:55 text me after. After what? Oh, after what? Literally. Then the 12:20, this Brian Albert Sr. was trying to not be at the house. Well, unfortunately for everyone, these are not rocket scientists by any means. They're just used to getting away with it. Murdoch comes in, and Idaho 4. The 11:55. Okay, so this is what I think happened. At 12:20, he walks in. Colin punched him in the back of the head and knocked him right out. There are steps on his Apple Watch that track. It's 3 minutes, so maybe he got knocked out or got knocked back, and maybe that's when he fell and hit his head. His steps are indicating that from 12:21 to 12:24, this was where a fight was. And so I think he fell back and hit his head on a weight. I don't think anyone actually hit him with the weight intentionally. Well, other than Colin's golden glove. That was weighted. The 12:21 to 12:24 was when this fight happened. If you can even call it a fight. I mean, it's not really a fight when you get hit in the back of the head. Like, even old Westerners tell you you're not supposed to shoot people from the back. Then, nothing. His Apple Watch doesn't track any movement. So, 12:20 walks in. 12:21 to 12:24 is when the the fight is happening. Then there's 7 minutes of nothing. Then at 12:31, they moved his body. There are pictures of the basement. Hopefully I'll put them in here. That you come right down the stairs from the top, from 34 Fairview in there. You come right down the stairs, and then it's an open room. On the left, when you walk down those stairs, is if John had known the layout of the house, he could have tried, I guess, to go up those. What is that thing called? Probably didn't write it down. You know, that opens to the backyard. That, I think, happens at 12:31. They moved his body outside. And that's where he ascended, which means his soul left his body right there outside at 12:31. Well, I don't know the time of his departure, but I do know that it was outside. And so I think we nailed down this timeline. He walks in at Karen's story has never changed, and according to his steps, it was like 36 steps. Walks in at 12:20. At 12:21, Colin punches, and this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. That's what we've done. So you have Google, and I'm literally a chick with tarot deck. I'm not presenting this as fact. 12:20, walks in. Colin punches him in the back of the head. 12:21 to 12:24. So for 3 minutes, he might have been he was on his feet somehow. Well, and I saw a picture of his body, and he had broken his hand. So he had thrown at least a punch. In those 3 minutes, he might have fallen back, got cold clocked again, or someone told me, knocked out. And then after 12:24, there's no movement on John at all for 7 minutes. And I think that's when they freaked out and realized what they had done. Perhaps Colin went and washed his hands in a bathroom sink. And then at 12:31, they moved his body. And I think that's when they took him up the stairs. And that's where its final resting place was. So that whole thing that I just explained is 11 minutes. 12:20 walks in, Colin punches him in the back of the head. 12:21 to 12:24, I would hardly call it a fight. Then I think at 12:24, he's on his back and he puts his arm up to protect his neck and face. That would be instinctual. And now Chloe is doing what she was trained to do, go straight for his neck. So he's protecting himself, and that's where these bite marks are. He's already on his back, he's already hit his head, and she's doing what she was trained to do, and instinctually, he's doing what he, as a human, would do, protect your neck. Then it's silent. Nothing happens. It's like, I'm guessing, a complete freak out. If you've never seen death, which I haven't, thank you. I have seen it, but not like this. A kid died in my arms one time. He was in a motorcycle accident. I'll tell that story sometime. It was very life-changing. And Colin's freaking out. I think Colin washes his hands in a sink that is not in the basement. And if I get okay to say that out loud, I will. I'm not getting it's okay yet. So, and Colin is completely losing his mind. He has never seen this before. He's a bully. Well, all bullies are afraid. He's afraid. He's just afraid. He doesn't know any better. And everyone has done him a huge disservice. He probably would have been hot and a good athlete. Not very bright. But he didn't have a chance, I don't think. And now he might, who knows. So, in those 7 minutes, it's complete freak out. Perhaps this is when Higgins and Senior move him upstairs. Colin is freaking out, washing his hands in a specific bathroom that is not in the basement. Okay. Then at 12:31, so this is 11 minutes, 12:31, Senior and Higgins moved his body outside. And that is where he passed away and his soul ascended to the body. I think we've got it. Then Allie picks Colin up. I'm sure that we have the exact time. It's in a spreadsheet. I love with you. Allie picks him up, and I think she picked up the dog too, or takes the dog with her. Who's Aaron? Could Aaron have been driving Allie's car and Allie was driving her mother's car that night? I'll have to look at who Aaron is. I just remembered that name from our spreadsheet. But if someone was driving Allie's car, that will explain a few things. So I will look at that spreadsheet again. I think that we've got this nailed down. Then, I don't know where this high school idea came from, if someone said it in testimony or what, but I'm convinced that Allie took Colin to the high school and met Paul. Okay, and Paul took the dog. And I've been saying that. And perhaps Paul took the hockey bag with the golden glove and the t-shirt. Paul didn't take everything. Because there was panic. I don't really know what these trashy men were thinking. Like, when you hit someone unexpectedly, maybe they weren't planning on him falling and hitting his head. And then the cleanup crew starts. While Allie gets Colin out, who is completely losing his mind. He is freaking out. He showed a tough guy. I mean, I guess I don't know how I would react. Well, you would not catch me dead anywhere near it. And I don't think that John or Karen thought these people were that cool either. The more I'm learning about it, I mean, I watched it. I watched the trial and everything. I don't think that they thought they were very cool. The cleanup crew starts. Who's the cleanup crew? Who we know is still there. I am guessing that it is not the cleanup crew's first rodeo either, with what we know about Miss Nicole. And perhaps I will look into this a little bit more and do a video with, we're going live on Wednesday night. If anyone would like to join us, please do. It'll be fun. My class is done. I've been teaching and it's done. So on Wednesday, we're going to go live, and another one of my girlfriends and I are just going to chit chat, or you guys can call in. We haven't really talked that much about what we're going to do. Perhaps I'll do that on a live, show you the timeline. It was a group effort. We have it nailed down with the Apple Watch info. And now what we need is the original autopsy. I don't even know where to look for that. So that's where we are right now. I'm not even going to read on it. I think that needs to just settle for a little bit. And then I'll be back. I need to go look at a few more things, and we will go on to the next. That means Karen dropped him off, and he was almost dead within a minute. And when was Karen? I mean, I'm not Karen. Jen McCabe. Well, we know she Googled it 226 or 220 something. So we'd been outside for 2 hours already. I heard someone said that he puked. That's from a concussion, I'm guessing, from hitting his head. I don't know if they tried to sit him up. I feel like they just left his body. Maybe in that 3 minutes he puked. Maybe what happened was he got hit and he fell, put his arm up to protect his neck. They got the dog off of him and sat him up, and then that's where he threw up. I don't know that part. The good news is there's still DNA at the house, and I'm looking forward to that. It'll all come out. It's all going to come out. And I'm looking forward to it. So that wasn't a reading. That was just to let you guys know where we are with the timeline. And I will be back. And I love you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all your help, too, to our wonderful, beautiful friends who are helping me. I love you.